Hello YouTube, this is another QAZWSX2541 Blender tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make an FPS game in Blender. This is going to be the first part. This is going to be covering mouse look and movement. First off, huge round of applause to the Blender game engine developers. They have made this so much simpler. In fact, I'm redoing this first part because in the most recent update of Blender they made this so much simpler that you don't even need a script for the movement part of it anymore. Okay, so without further ado, the first thing we're going to do, top and center, switch that from Blender Render to Blender Game. Next thing we're going to do is drag up this bottom window, switch that to the logic editor, and we can drag out this side window just a bit. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to select the cube by right clicking, enter edit mode by pressing tab, hit S, Z, 2, so we're going to scale it on the Z axis by 2, then we're going to hit S.5. So we're going to scale the whole thing in half. Next thing we're going to do is select the camera, hit X to delete it, drag this cube up above the grid, then we're going to hit Shift S cursor to center, and then hit Shift A add mesh plane. We're then going to scale up this plane by hitting S and then just dragging the cursor out, so this will be our ground. I'm going to make this ground green, so you can do that by hitting the materials tab, add a new material, and make it green. Or like a brownish color. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to select the cube, and we're going to go to the side view by pressing 3, hit Shift S, and hit cursor to selected, hit Shift A, add camera. Next thing we're going to do is you can notice that we can't see the camera right now, so we're going to select the cube, go to the object buttons, and we're going to go down here to display, and where it says type textured, we're going to switch that to wire so we can now see through the cube. So with that done, we're going to select the camera, hit Alt R, that should clear the rotation of the camera, and then we're going to hit RX90. So then we're going to drag that to the top half of the cube and then scale it down so it fits inside the box. Then select the camera, Shift select the cube, and hit Control P, set parent to object. So that means that now whenever we grab the cube and move it around, the camera moves around with it. So with the cube selected, we're going to go to the physics tab here, and we're going to do physics type character. And this is part of the new stuff now. So with the new object type, we have a couple of different settings here. Step height is how high steps this player will actually be able to step up automatically. It can figure that out by itself. You have jump force, which is how high the player will jump. And then fall speed max is pretty much self-explanatory. That is the maximum speed the player can fall. So to get this cube moving, we're going to add a keyboard sensor. We're actually going to add 5 different ones. The first keyboard sensor, we're going to name this one up. You actually don't have to name it, but it's always good practice too. I'm going to use the W key and turn pulse mode on. We're going to add another keyboard sensor. This one will be named down. Make this key the S key, pulse mode on. Add another keyboard sensor. This one will be named left. This will be A, pulse mode on. Add another keyboard sensor. This one will be named right. This will be D, pulse mode on. And finally, keyboard. This one will be named jump. This will just be the spacebar. So next we're going to add a controller to match up with each one of these sensors. So we're going to add 5 controllers. All of them can be the AND controllers. And next what we're going to do is we're going to wire all of those straight across into the sensors, just like that. Next what we're going to do is we're going to add an actuator. This is going to be a motion actuator. You can wire that into the controller right away. And then we're going to switch from motion type simple motion to motion type character motion. And so now we see pretty much the same setup, except we've got this extra little jump button down here. So for up, we're going to want to move the box on the y-axis, which is forward, in the positive direction. So we're just going to bump that up a little bit. We can hit play, and if we hit W, we should move forward. That's a bit fast, so we're going to slow that down, and that looks a lot better. So we're going to do more motion actuators to go with the rest of them. Switch them to character motion, and since this one is down or backing up, we want to do the y-axis but on a negative speed. So if we hit play, we can go forward and back. And then we're going to add 2 more for the strafing, or left and right. Let's wire that over. Character motion. And this one will be on the x-axis, and since this is going to be left, we want it in the negative direction. So we play forward, back, left. And now we're going to do the motion actuator, and this one, character motion. This one will be positive on the x-axis, so we can go forward, back, left, and right. And finally, we're going to do a motion actuator. This is going to be character motion, jump. So we hit play, forward, back, left, right, jump. And so that's really simple. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the mouse look, so the player can actually look around from their camera. So to do that, we're going to select the camera. We're going to add a mouse sensor. It's going to be a mouse movement sensor. We're going to turn pulse mode on, and we're going to name this sensor Mouslook. Spell it exactly like that. Capital M, capital L. We're going to add a Python controller, and we're going to add a motion actuator. Wire that in. This motion actuator will be named up, down, capital U, capital D. We're then going to shift select our cube, add another motion actuator to the cube, wire that into the Python controller, and this one will be named left, right, capital L, capital R. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually import our Mouslook script. So we're going to split our 3D window here by dragging the top corner down. We're going to switch this new window to a text editor, and we're going to do text, open text block, and then you're going to open the script that is in the description below. Now I will go more into depth with these, with this script later, but that's for a different video. For now, we're just going to put it into our game. So we're going to open the Mouslook script, and we're going to attach that to this controller. So now if we hit play, we should be able to look back and forth with the cube. And if you switch to camera view by pressing 0 on the number pad, we are actually able to look around. So we can now go forward, back, left, right, jump, and we can look around. And the really nice thing about this new character physics type is with the old FPS games, it was really hard to get it to where if you ran into a solid wall, like this cube here, it would bounce back. With the new character motion type, they have fixed that by implementing a different bullet physics class, which is really cool. So you see there, I was able to jump up onto the cube. That's just a matter of adjusting the step height option on the character, so we can just turn that down by a good bit. Hit play. Still am able to jump up on it, but I guess that's actually sort of a feature because he would be able to climb. So if you hit B, we can jump up on the cube. Okay, so that's it for this first part of the tutorial. You guys can fine-tune the options to your liking. Next part's going to be on adding in the gun and probably some ammo scripting. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.